From Troas, we put out to sea and sailed straight for Samothrace, and the next day went on to Neapolis.
And this was no ordinary trip, not just because Paul had Dr. Luke with him now, and not just because of the supernatural summons the pleading man Paul saw in his dream. You see, Neapolis, which is modern Kavala, was Paul's first stop in Macedonia, which means it was Paul's first stop on a whole new continent. Or, put another way,
The gospel arrived in Europe. Right here. Or, right around here. The modern harbor is a block or two down that way. And the rest of the city goes up on the hill, and there was one road at the time, the Via Egnatia.
The Via Egnatia, the ancient Roman military road, which under Emperor Claudius was not used for military purposes in Macedonia. Gordon Franz says the Via Egnatia became the road that the beautiful feet of the Christians used to spread the gospel, as well as an important line of communications between churches in different cities of Macedonia. A peaceful path, though still rocky and lengthy. We're certain Paul was glad to have Dr. Luke and others as traveling companions.
Here's my freshly re-sprained ankle, being held together by a somewhat loose ankle brace I bought from a pharmacy here after I convinced the pharmacist, no, I really did need one. I had miles and miles of walking to do.
I could really use a personal physician right about now. Anybody? I'm 2 hours away from Thessalonica where I started. The heat is almost oppressive. But then I feel for Paul, right? I sat on a boat that had a little air-conditioned area. There were cool drinks that came out of refrigerators that I could buy. I'm going to get in an air-conditioned car once I hike my way back to it. Paul had none of that.
But he did have Luke for those first steps off the boat and into Europe. And it wouldn't be long before they'd see the fruit of their collective obedience, new Christians springing up in fertile ground, growing right alongside the opposition. It's as if God had prepared a table before Paul, his companions, and new Macedonian believers in the presence of their enemies.